Right now on Wake Up Central, the January 6th committee is holding what will likely be its final public hearing today. What new evidence is expected to be shown?
That's going to really help a lot of people out more than you could ever imagine.
A retailer is taking steps to make certain feminine hygiene products more affordable. In 4 minutes, what it means for Arkansas women.
Hey, so that front that moved through yesterday, well, it's brought us some really pleasant weather for today. Lots of sunshine, cooler weather. It doesn't hang around too long, though. There's going to be some updates to your weekend forecast you might want to know about. Those details are coming right up.
And that's a foul, well, a waterfowl. Why this goose is taking the internet by storm.
Now, Wake Up Central with Karen Fuller, Hayden Balgavi, and meteorologist Scott Covert.
Time now 6 a.m. and thanks for being with us on Wake Up Central.
Well, we saw the goose there in L.A., Scott
Goose on
Covert.
the
You know,
loose.
well, if there's a duck down here, you better be careful because duck hunting season's coming up. But no, not duck hunting weather yet, though.
Well, it's not cool yet, that's
Nah,
for sure.
not
We
yet.
need some water, too, and
Yeah.
our drought continues to get worse. Hunters will tell you, you need a lot of water for
Right.
ducks to come here. And I don't know if we're going to have that this year, at least as it looks right now. Rain chances some this weekend, unfortunately, could impact some of those weekend plans. First, let's get you set up for today. No concerns in your weather forecast for this Thursday. You're looking live off towards the west. Our skies are clear and our temperatures have really fallen off. We're in the 40s in Conway, Searcy, Russellville, Mena this morning. Low 50s elsewhere. We are going to continue to have a cool day, noticeably cooler, in fact, than yesterday. We actually topped out in the low 90s for a time period yesterday. Today, it's going to be comfortable at around 80. Lots of sunshine to enjoy, low humidity, breezy at times, and unfortunately, those two factors are prime ingredients for an even higher fire danger than what we've already seen. That's going to be a problem. We'll take a deep dive into that, as well as that weekend rain chance. There have been some changes that if you got weekend plans, I think you want to know about. I'll go over those coming up in 14 minutes.
We start this hour with developing news out of Little Rock CHI St. Vincent. Now, leaders are looking into an apparent IT security incident.
The cyber attack impacting patients who have appointments at the hospital. And Wake Up Central's Michaela Johnson is following this. She joins us now live with more. Good morning, Michaela.
Good morning, Karen and Hayden. CHI St. Vincent is one of the largest health systems in the country, and their parent company, Common Spirit, has confirmed that this apparent cyber attack is affecting millions of patients and their services. Now, that's nationwide and in Arkansas. Now, the cyber attack, the details, they remain extremely unclear this morning. In a statement, the hospital says, quote, "As a precautionary step, we have taken certain IT systems offline, which may include electronic health record systems and other systems," end quote. The company Common Spirit, which serves 140 hospitals across the country, says this is a quote IT security issue. Cybersecurity research director Philip Huff says these attacks from hackers can vary from a data breach to something more severe like a ransomware attack, and that hospitals or schools, for example, can tend to be the most vulnerable in society.
Understanding what to do when an event like this happens is something that affects all businesses and something we all need to prepare for. If there are any vulnerabilities, any weaknesses in the software that we're running in the company, then they can gain access through that software.
Huff says the best preventative measure for any organization is to, 1, prepare, and 2, heighten cybersecurity. He also tells us there has been an uptick in these types of attacks in the last 2 years. Now, coming up at 6:30, we'll take a closer look into how this IT security issue has impacted patients here in the Natural State. Live in Little Rock, Michaela Johnson for Wake Up Central.
Now, last thing you want to worry about as a patient, cybersecurity.
Oh, yes.
Already dealing with enough.
HIPAA, oh yes, and appointments as well. Thank you, Michaela, for that good information. And keeping you safe and sound, CVS is making feminine hygiene products more affordable by paying the sales tax. Several states have failed to repeal the, quote, tampon tax, which makes these products more expensive. Wake Up Central's Ashley Godwin reports.
Here in Arkansas, someone could pay as much as 10% of sales tax on tampons or pads, but CVS is paving the way for cheaper costs.
I would encourage other retailers to do the same.
CVS has now started paying the sales tax on store brand feminine hygiene products in 12 states, including Arkansas. On top of that, the pharmacy chain is also cutting prices by 25% for their store brand tampons, menstrual pads, liners, and cups.
It's amazing for them to be, doing something like that. I mean, oh my gosh, like that's going to really help a lot of people out more than you could ever imagine.
Janai Harris is the creator of More Chances Period, an organization that gets period products to people across Arkansas.
A lot of times people don't understand how much not having period supplies can play into someone's self-esteem, or the fact that, sometimes menstruators miss school.
The group works with local school districts, churches, and community centers to make sure they have feminine hygiene products on site. And recently, they have also been distributing at free pantries and the free little libraries to get more period products to people who may not have access to them.
We go around once a week on Sundays and put period supplies in there because we're thinking, hey, if someone needs food, they may need period supplies too.
In 2021, the Arkansas House of Representatives introduced a bill to exempt feminine hygiene products from sales tax. It died in the House committee. For Wake Up Central, I'm Ashley Godwin.
Children as young as 5 are now eligible for COVID-19 booster shots. Kids and teens can now get boosters from Moderna and Pfizer as long as they're at least 2 months past their prior dose. The FDA says now is a great time to consider getting your child boosted before the winter cold and flu season.
6 Connecticut jurors have come up with the largest defamation suit payout in American history, ordering Alex Jones to pay some of the victims of Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting nearly $1 billion. Now, each of the plaintiffs were awarded a different amount. They are the families of 8 victims and an FBI agent who responded to the shooting. Now, Jones began claiming the shooting was a hoax almost immediately after it happened. Families testified that his followers threatened and harassed them online and in person.
There will be more Alex Joneses in this world, but what they learned here today is that they absolutely will be held accountable.
Now, Erica Lafferty lost her mother, Sandy Hook principal Dawn Hochsprung. In August, Jones was ordered to pay $49 million after a similar case. He claims he can't afford the payments, but experts say he and his company are worth more than $100 million. Today, the House committee charged with investigating the January 6th Capitol assault will hold what is likely to be its final public hearing. All 9 members of the committee are expected to give presentations that amount to closing arguments. Natalie Brand has the very latest.
Today, the House Select January 6th committee says it will focus on former President Trump's mindset in his efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. Unlike previous bombshell hearings, there will be no live witnesses, but each of the committee's 9 members will give a presentation. Committee aides say the hearing will include taped witness testimony. It's unclear whether that will include discussions the committee had with Ginny Thomas, the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. Members say she was urging the Trump White House to fight the election results. The hearing is also expected to feature new video showing efforts to respond to the Capitol riot as it unfolded, as well as new evidence from thousands of documents turned over by the U.S. Secret Service after a July subpoena.
Our job is to make sure that we protect democracy.
The committee has to wrap up its work in the next few months with a report expected by the end of the year. That timing coincides with the departure of the panel's 2 Republican members. Wyoming's Liz Cheney lost her primary bid for re-election, while Adam Kinzinger of Illinois is retiring. House GOP leaders have signaled they may launch their own probe into January 6th if they win the majority in November's midterms. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
All right, Scott, what is the one thing we need to know about the weather today?
Hey, it's going to be cooler than it was yesterday. All in all, a pretty pleasant day. Temperatures largely in the upper 70s, low 80s with lots of sunshine statewide. It is going to get breezy at times. It's going to be nice tomorrow, but then heading into the weekend, we've got some increasing chances of rain and warmer weather. How that could impact you and your plans, we'll break that down for you coming right up.
Also still ahead, there's a new deadline for millions of people and stimulus checks. In 2 minutes, we'll tell you exactly who this deadline is for and why. And can spreading misinformation hit PayPal users in the pocketbooks? Well, in about 7 minutes, we find out how one small mistake led to some big confusion. It is 6:10 on your Thursday morning. As you can see, the traffic starting to pick up on the I-30 bridge. Wake Up Central back in just 2 minutes.